We need in Washington, D.C., some of the same kind of common sense that Howard Kaloogian has brought to the Assembly in the state of California.
You heard that I was an attorney, but don't worry, I found honest employment as a politician. And I'm here today to bring you something from Sacramento.
The portable retirement option. Your money, your choice. There are well over 1 million public employees in the state of California employed by state and local governments, including teachers, police officers, firefighters, janitors, librarians, and judges. The cost to California taxpayers to fund public employee retirement benefits continues to escalate, while benefits remain the same. In this program, we'll look at proposed legislation authored by California Assemblyman Howard Kaloogian to reduce those taxpayer costs and give public employees the choice to control their own retirement investments. Assemblyman Kaloogian's AB 3252 is at the forefront of the national debate, including news coverage by Forbes magazine, the Wall Street Journal, Pensions and Investments, CNBC's Money Talk, the Sacramento Bee, the Orange County Register, and the San Francisco Chronicle. Assemblyman Kaloogian was elected to the State Assembly in 1994 to represent the 74th Assembly District, which includes North County, San Diego.
There are two great changes. The world market, which means that the average American will have 7 or more jobs in their lifetime, and the information age, which allows us to follow data, to track people, to be able to have a pension plan that is portable, a retirement program that you can monitor, that allows capabilities we've never seen before. We're seeing some breakthroughs. Governor John Engler passed the first state pension plan where there's very early vesting, and it is a personal pension plan for state employees. They control individually their investments. Assemblyman Howard Kaloogian developed this idea in California. They're very close to a breakthrough there. The fact is that approach is something we should be applying across the country to corporate pension funds, to government pension funds, to union pension funds. You should at least have the option, if you want, of controlling your own pension, making your own investments, and taking it with you.
California Teachers Association, we have been opposed to this bill. Our members don't have the time nor the knowledge to invest the monies that are now set aside for the state teachers' retirement system.
Our members, the teachers of California, don't have the time nor the knowledge to do their own investing. There's a story about a factory in somewhere here in the South where they have a turkey processing plant. And there's a section of this plant where there are a group of people who are called debeakers. It is their job to take a pair of pliers and pull the beak out of the turkey and throw the carcass back on the conveyor belt. Now you've got to realize that there aren't a lot of PhDs on this debeaking section of the plant, and yet they have gone to a defined contribution plan, and they are doing extremely well. They apparently have the time and the knowledge to handle their own impact.
Art Laffer and Howard Kaloogian, the state of California, and Victor Canto and I held a press conference this morning on a flat tax for California. And Howard spoke first. They want to take the rate down to 5. To bring down the tax code to a flatter, fairer, simpler, lower, get rid of the IRS's intrusiveness into our pockets, our lives, and into our property. When Kaloogian and Laffer and Canto and I held a press conference this morning, a press guy laughingly said, what's the model for this?
I think that the woman should be given this information that's being provided to the doctor as well. And I think that if she sees this image, that that provides her the kind of information that, frankly, she needs to make the decision that she's making. The bill is very simple. In fact, it would take you about 20 seconds to read the entire bill. It simply asks that ultrasounds would be performed before an abortion.
Is the intent to help the woman, or is it to deter abortion?
I think as a natural side effect, many women who see this picture of their child is not going to choose to go forward with an abortion. I think that the appropriate state interest is the health and safety of the mother. And if, as a natural consequence of protecting the health and safety of the mother, that we stop some abortions, I see nothing wrong with that. I'm here today to talk about AB 2413 as well as SB 1761 with my co-author, Senator Ray Haynes. What happened here with Sarah and Vanessa is not isolated, but that book that they brought here to show today is not an example of American literature or English literature at its finest. Why is it being used? There are so many other books that can be used to teach literature and teach reading. Why would they use that? It's not because that book has any particular academic value. It's because that book is promoting a socializing propaganda that the system wants to impose upon these students. And if the parents don't want it, they should have the right to opt out and ask for quality education, not indoctrination.
The sexual harassment laws say that if there is power discrepancies and one person is much more powerful than the other, then the person with lower power cannot give consent. Do you think that the president, the leader of the free world, has a little bit more power than some intern in his office? Do you know that according to the sexual harassment laws that she cannot give consent to sexual acts? Well, what does that mean? What is sex without consent? Ladies and gentlemen, this man is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, both in the criminal sense and in the traditional sense of violation of public trust. Perjury alone causes him to be gone. Unless you believe he's the king, it is time for him to go.
Let me close by telling you what happened to my grandmother, who told me the story many times. She saw her brothers and sisters and parents murdered before her. She was able to escape. A family in the neighborhood took her into their household and told her, "You will no longer be called Christine, because that is a Christian name and it will give you away. You will be called this other name." And she never revealed that other name to us. But it was a Turkish name. Think of the meaning of your name. Think of the meaning to you that your name has. To be taken away from your family, to see your family murdered, and to have your very identity removed from you. It was a very traumatic experience for that 10-year-old. Then she was told she was no longer a Christian, but she must be a Muslim. She is no longer an Armenian, but she is now a Turk. That she cannot speak Armenian, she must speak Turkish. And every night she would cry herself asleep, and she would remind herself, and she would pray to her God, and she would say, "My name is not this other name, my name is Christine. I am not Turkish, I am Armenian. I am not Muslim, I am Christian. I do speak Armenian, and I will remember my language." That is what we are dealing with here. Real lives, real stories, repeated 1.5 million times over, and repeated again in the 80s, and repeated again in this decade. We must remember so that it never happens again. And if we can prevent it from happening in the next century, then the suffering of my grandmother will have been worth it. I ask for an aye vote.